Good morning, students. This is Bhavna Sinha, your chemistry teacher. As you all know, we are discussing the chapter The P block elements, and in that we are discussing about group 16. Okay, in that we are discussing about group 16. So some parts we have discussed about its general characteristics. Now we are going to proceed with the physical properties of group 16 elements. So the first physical property which we are going to discuss is atomic and ionic radii. Okay, so you must be knowing what is atomic and ionic radii. Okay, the distance of the outermost shell from the nucleus of the atom is known as atomic radii. How can we define this atomic radii? The distance of the nucleus from the outermost shell. Okay, and when it forms ion, then the distance of the nucleus from the outermost shell in case of its ion. Okay, if it is atom, then atomic radii it will be referred as, and if it is an ion, then ionic radii it will be referred as. Okay, now the atomic and ionic radius increases as we move from oxygen to polonium. And what is the reason behind it? The reason is the increase in the atomic number. What reason will be there? The reason is because of increase in atomic number. Okay, due to increase in the atomic number, the atomic and ionic radius increases as we move from oxygen to polonium. Okay, now the next one is ionization enthalpy. Okay, so ionization enthalpy decreases with increase in the size of the central atom as we move down. Okay, as you will move from oxygen to polonium, the ionization enthalpy decreases. Now why? What is the reason behind it? The reason is the effective nuclear charge, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell. First of all, we should know what do we mean when we say ionization enthalpy. See, ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy which is required to remove an electron from the outermost shell in its isolated gaseous state. How can we define ionization enthalpy? Ionization enthalpy is defined as the amount of energy required to remove an electron in its isolated gaseous state. Okay, and this what we call this ionization enthalpy is ionization enthalpy ionization enthalpy is directly proportional to the effective nuclear charge. Okay, and that is why the ionization enthalpy decreases as we move from top to bottom, from oxygen to polonium in the group, because the effective nuclear charge decreases. As we move from top to bottom in the group, the effective nuclear charge decreases, and due to decrease in the effective nuclear charge, the ionization enthalpy also decreases, because ionization enthalpy is directly proportional to the effective nuclear charge. Okay, now the next one is electron gain enthalpy. Next, which we are going to discuss, is electron gain enthalpy. See, the electron gain enthalpy decreases with increase in size of the central atom. Okay, the electron gain enthalpy decreases with increase in the size of the central atom. That means if the atomic number will be more, electron gain enthalpy will be less. Okay, oxygen molecule has a less negative electron gain enthalpy than sulfur. Okay, because the atomic number of oxygen is less than the atomic number of sulfur. That is why oxygen molecule has a less negative electron gain enthalpy than sulfur. This is on the ground state. Oxygen, because of its compressed nature, encounter more repulsion between the electrons effectively present and the approaching electron. Okay, now because of these electron repulsions, oxygen particle has lesser inclination than sulfur atom to acknowledge the additional electron. Okay, what is electron gain enthalpy? How it is changing in group 16? As the atomic number of the element increases, the electron gain enthalpy decreases. As the size of the central atom increases, the electron gain enthalpy decreases. And since oxygen has the smallest size among all the members of group 16, because it has the lowest atomic number, that is why the oxygen molecule has a less negative electron gain enthalpy than sulfur. Okay, two reasons are there. The first is the size, atomic size, and the second is the atomic number. If the size will be bigger, then the electron gain enthalpy will decrease, and if the size will be smaller, the electron gain enthalpy will increase. And second is the atomic number. If the atomic number will be higher, the electron gain enthalpy will decrease, and if the atomic number will be low, then in the same way it is changing. And oxygen molecule has less negative electron gain enthalpy than sulfur, because the size of sulfur is bigger than the size of oxygen. First point. And the second point is that the atomic number of sulfur is more than the atomic number of oxygen. Okay, so these are the important physical properties of what we call group 16 members. You are knowing there are 5 elements present in group 16, that is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and polonium. These are the 5 members of group 16, and we have discussed their physical properties. Rest we will discuss in the next class. Thank you, students.